a repeat guest, been here about 3 years ago, almost to the day. Yes. Dr. Robert Lyons. How are you?
How are you?
Good. We also have others in the studio. I don't know if you'll be able to see them though, but Dr. Robert Lyons, I like to say, is the doctor that invented the cure for hypoxia.
Yes.
And hypoxia just so happens to be the cause of most cancers.
Yes.
So therefore, if all thises or that's are all that's this, that's the question.
Yes, the answer is we had the intensive study with melanoma stage 4 cancer patients in Budapest, Hungary, 2012 for 2.5 years. And outcome of the study was, one of the outcome of the study was the water itself is not curing any cancer, but stop hypoxia. And that is what we can claim to the water. It's truly stopping hypoxia. Now, it's a different question if you get into studies and see what is hypoxia and what it causes. One of the cause of long-term hypoxia is cancer. One of the cause. It could be many inflammatory disease, many chronic disease, but yes. Both answer is yes for you.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously with the world the way it is, you don't run around saying it cures cancer, although I've heard of and met people where cancer was in fact eliminated somehow.
Yes.
With this water. And the reason it's called KAQUN water, and if you guys go back to the first episode, this has been going on for a long time. A lot of people called me after that episode wanting to, like, where's that place at? My mom's sick and da-da-da. And we've sent like tons of people there, and none of them have ever called me back and said, they screwed me, you're a ripoff, they lied, it's bullshit. It was all real.
Because everybody was hypoxic. So I did not stop maybe the cancer to grow, but I did one thing, stop the hypoxia to advance, because longer you keep it, more bigger trouble you are in.
Yeah. So, well, there was only a few clinics or spas, you call them, around. Some in Hungary, one in Las Vegas, coincidentally, because that's where I'm at. And there wasn't very many.
Yes, 3 years ago, no. But now we have hundreds of doctors using it in their offices, from the newest one from Germany, from Frankfurt. We have Hamburg. We have right now Andorra starting up, Paris, France. We have now centers, and all different. Some of them is for beauty, some of them is for sport, and some of them for diseased people to get over their problem.
Now, the royal family of Malaysia, the Queen suffered some sort of stroke. You put her in the baths, boom, she's fully recovered. Everyone couldn't believe it. Now they have it for the whole royal family.
Yes, now is a different, but that time I was unfortunately arriving there late, so she was in a very late stage of it, a very small motion and not talking, and it was very slow. And finally, when she started to drink the water, it was first not the beds, but just drink the water, give her ability to go to rehabilitation. And in 2 years, we put a very big change on him. She speaks English now. She speaks, of course, Malay. But the movements, when you see her moving, it's incredible, because now she's dancing and you don't see that robotic moves. You see them when she moves the hand very smoothly.
Yeah, so again, technically you cured her.
Technically, no, I did not. I think
technically, he never takes credit for curing people, but everybody's getting cured.
No, Brad, what's happened is, actually, I did not touch her. I was just giving advice to a doctor of his to give her water under the tongue for 4 months. And
why under the tongue?
Because she could not swallow that many, because she had a little bit of problem with swallowing too.
Now, folks, just in case you guys are already excited, because I'm sure you are, because you may know someone sick, you may be sick. A lot of people get panicked when they find out they have the C word or any kind of serious, ailments. This is something that everyone should look into. By the way, you go on Instagram at KAQUN.LV, and it's KAQUN.LV, and then the website KAQUNLV.com. KAQUN. LV. And what's funny is, if you guys have seen the movie Cocoon, that's where you came up with it, yeah?
Yes, that was the origin idea, because I do not know how to explain what I saw. So I said, better go to science fiction. And science fiction said, your cocoon is very good. People get well. Older people went into the water, because it was not necessarily to cure people. That's what today I want to actually take off a big secret, what people don't know. My reason to come here today to a little bit open the eyes and let them listen, or at least argue about it.
Well, a long time ago, when I first heard about you guys, it was a business opportunity presented to me. You remember?
Yes, of course.
Clown face, whatever his name was.
Yes.
But anyway, so when I first started looking at you, I'm like, shit, yeah, I'll do this, no problem. If this is real, dude, I'm telling you, we'll blow this up, blah, 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 blah. And I went and bought, I believe, KAQUNwater.com. The spelled like cocoon spelled.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you guys want that, but you can have that because someone might hear this, still type in KAQUN, even though I told them it's KAQUN. They might type in KAQUN water. You can take that, even though it's not called that, and redirect it to where when they type in KAQUNwater.com, it still goes where you want it to go.
We would thank you very much because we a long time looking for that person who took that.
That's me.
It was you.
I'm pretty sure we'll log into GoDaddy when we're done.
Perfect.
Because the other day I was going through all my websites. I got hundreds of them.
Okay.
And I saw KAQUN water, and I'm like, dang, dude, I wish that would have been. Because, dude, I thought I was going to be a zillionaire off that deal.
Yes.
And the reason why is because, again, you guys have, case after case after case. So anybody that's sick, have family that are sick, you guys want to pay attention to this episode. Make sure that you follow them at KAQUN.LV and go to KAQUNLV.com. Now, there's two types of things that I've discovered. And I did one. I should have done more, and I'm probably going to do more now. I mean, I have to now. I'll give you my American Express before you leave. Just book me for 14.
14. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, I want to do the baths, but there's two things. You can lay in the bath, which looks like water, but it's not water. It's not H2O. It's, I say, liquid oxygen. Is that accurate?
Absolute.
So you lay in this bath, which, by the way, it doesn't get cool. It doesn't get cold. Like, I laid there for an hour, I think it was, and it stayed the same temperature the whole time, which was weird. And it was like, there's a different buoyancy. It was like I tried to go underneath and it won't kind of let me go underneath. So it's not water. It's something else, no matter what. And keep in mind, when I first went over there, I'm skeptical like anybody. Oh, sure, miracle water. Yeah, it's going to cure you. Which, by the way, you guys tested my oxygen when I went in and tested it when it went out. Major difference. Not to mention everybody that was in your lobby, I was talking to them. They're like, oh yeah, it cured my Lyme disease. Oh yeah, it cured my this. And my mom came in and they couldn't walk and now they're walking. And now you bring in a picture today where you actually show a picture of a thumb that was half chopped off and it grew the damn thumb back.
Okay, so
that's regeneration.
You're trying to make it now as a miracle, but it's actually is a scientific work behind this.
Yeah, but thumbs don't grow back.
I did never see that before. Now I see it.
So I would call that a miracle, even though it's explained.
Yes. So what you have to know, last 3 years ago when we met, I had nothing like this about what is in the tub or what you're drinking. Now, after COVID, we are focusing on what is inside the water because now we have the technology to look at them. And I tell you, this excites me more than anything because now I see we call them species of oxygen. Everybody thinks when you say oxygenated baths or drinking water, I pump oxygen in the water and fill it up with high pressure. And when you open up the bottle, all the oxygen goes out. No, these guys is different. These guys move a light speed, very, very quick. They bound together. They go back and forth, up and down, sideways in a picosecond, very quickly happening. And after in the laboratory, we finally photographed them and be able to see them. I had to make it for the average people to seeable. Now I know how to do it by an accident. So accident was my flashlight fall into the tub. And that was it. We never see that before. Now we start to see it. Now we're playing with 360 colors also. So each color shows different face of this species of oxygen. And now we learn photograph, we learn to video them, and now we see them in action. How it's getting to the wound, how it's getting to the skin. Then we get a dark field microscope and we can look at them. So now it's all about science, not about miracle. That finger grow back for only one way, if there is a genetic or epigenetic changes take place. And we were about to prove that we have that with Drosophilas. You remember the professor who was here with me. And we proved that 16,500 genes was checked. Now we know what's happening. Let's say you have a disease, a chronic disease. The chronic disease need I tell you, maybe 3 or 4 genes needs to be open and closed. Okay, then we can claim there is bad effect or good effect happened. But when you drink the water, the special oxygenated water, which is when I tell you how I do it, you see immediately
This water.
That water. Then you see the oxygen species are very, 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 very different, because when there's nothing around them, they act very normal. When something diseased get in there, then start to get activated. And everybody gonna find, that's why when you went into to see all the people in the place, everybody, back hurts, leg hurts, tumor, this problem, they all chronic hypoxic patients. The only one thing was what everybody had, hypoxia. And that's what who today listening and please check what is hypoxia, because if you understand hypoxia, now you have a base to understand why it's so important to have this.
And hypoxia is a lack of oxygen.
Exactly. But lack of oxygen is not just to the lung, lack of oxygen to the tissue, lack of oxygen to the tissue in the brain, the heart muscle, the lungs, the liver, the kidney, all the vital organs. They are really, really depending on oxygen. Your skin is depending on normal oxygenation. Your thought process, your thinking is very much depending on oxygenation. Look at how many people now getting all dementia and, Parkinson, morbus Parkinson, Alzheimer. It's all because of this lack of oxygen, what is in the brain. Yeah, you can study other things, neurons, and you can study all kinds of complicated molecules. But the basic is, if you don't have oxygen to the cells, to the tissue, for a longer period of time, you are in trouble. And that's what we are about to change, because now we see the faces of the species of oxygen. We see O2, O4, O8, 16.
Now, are other doctors and scientists shitting their pants?
Nobody shitting their pants, but they are more